So we're here on Berm Peak, but Berm Creek was the first backyard that I built trails in. It was only 1/5 of an acre. The only thing more absurd than its footprint was Berm Creek's features. There was a crazy drop with a terrible run-up and this steep roll-in. There was a picnic table built into the slope. We called it the Sicknick Table. And Berm Creek became really popular because it was relatable and it was ridiculous. But that was on YouTube. If you told me that a municipality would someday build a trail named after it, I would ask you who in their right mind would do that. Truth be told, Bentonville's version of Berm Creek was just a trail that crossed a creek. It had berms, and so they named it Berm Creek as a nod to my old backyard. All right, Berm Creek, here goes. It's a lot safer than the original Berm Creek, and it actually goes over a creek. There's nothing actually wrong with Berm Creek Trail, it just had a ton of unrealized potential, and we all knew it. And so on my first day in Bentonville, I walked Berm Creek Trail with Gary Vernon and a couple of trail builders that are part of an organization called the Trailblazers. They're kind of unofficially Bentonville's in-house trail building crew.
We wanted to have this really cool thing, but it gives up all the grade of this hill immediately.
Bridge is turned the wrong direction.
Take this berm out and make this a long swooping.
I love that idea.
Okay.
I was going to be in Bentonville for about a month, and so any work that was going to get done to Berm Creek would have to be done within 3 weeks, realistically. And only a few days after we first walked the trail, it was pretty clear that they were not messing around. By the time I got there, they had already canted the bridge to the left and increased the radius of the berm so you could carry more speed. And that's when things start to get interesting. So these big heavy rocks that Uriah is setting in place with a machine are actually going to be anchor points for a wooden feature that they're going to start building tomorrow morning. This morning I'm going to head out to Berm Creek, but first I've got to run a little errand. I told the trail builders that I'd bring them lunch today. I was going to ask them what they wanted, but it's kind of a silly question. Everybody knows that trail builders will eat anything. Morning.
Tommy.
Tommy, good to meet you.
How you doing, brother?
So this is actually a footing.
Yeah.
Ah, it's bolted in over there to the rock. Wow, I just jam it in the ground and take the back of a shovel and pack the dirt in.
Yeah.
Using big, heavy boulders as footings for features is something I honestly haven't thought much about because I don't have any rocks here. But it's a good idea. I mean, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna fly away in the wind? It also significantly reduces the ground contact of the wood, and it makes it easier to be precise because you can see the bottom of the post. You're not just burying it in the ground.
This is how you get trail spills around here. Just feed us.
Well, now we don't have to leave.
Now the old Berm Creek, my Berm Creek, did feature a creek, but it was on the property line, and so people would look at the map and say, you should build a gap over that. We were never able to do that because it was on my neighbor's property, but Bentonville's Berm Creek is different.
I think we need to mellow that out just a hair.
I love the exhilaration of testing new features, but the trail builders have got to test it first.
Now, Ethan led the way on the bridge, so it's got to be his baby, you know, to go off of first.
Dropping in.
Oh yeah!
Once you test a line, however unfinished, you kind of know where you're going to be landing, you know what to do to make it better. And you also know how much momentum you have left and what can come after.
And really, we have so much speed, you could put a big hip lip here.
Okay, if you want to hop in the big boy and shave this.
Okay.
They're already making some adjustments right now, working on it, changing it. And I'm going to come back next week and see where they're at because this isn't even close to done. Okay, a few days have elapsed. We're back here on Berm Creek Trail, and they're about to drop something absolutely ridiculous into the trail. And by drop in, I mean carry it with great difficulty.
All right, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
This is a giant picnic table. This is the Sicknick table at Berm Creek Trail, but it's not gonna be like the old one. You're gonna be going fast when you hit this. This is so just extra.
Okay, all right, we got it. You're in the hole.
We can move.
I was gonna say life-size picnic table, but no, this is way larger than life, and you're gonna be able to jump straight over it, or you're gonna be able to ride onto it. This whole line's gonna be ready to ride in a minute.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
This is awesome. I'm excited. Look at this thing. It's insane.
So this thing's pretty much ready to ride. They're gonna come back and polish it all up before it's open to the public, but we get to test it now.
Oh yeah.
It was my suggestion to make the new trail way shorter and just make it return back to the top so you could session it. It's small, it's short, everybody can hang out. So we tested everything, we know it works, and now they're putting the finishing touches on the trail to open it up to the public. That's signage to make sure people know that this is a mandatory creek gap, to let you know there's a drop. This is gonna be a trail that anybody can ride. But if you're a more advanced rider, you can take all these optional lines and really turn it into an advanced trail. So before we open Berm Creek to the public and ride it in, let me give you a walkthrough. First is the drop. It doesn't look like a drop from here, but actually that hog wire over there is just in case you don't clear the drop so you can roll over it. Now, one thing they changed is they actually canted the bridge this way to keep your speed going back onto the trail. After the drop, you're gonna hit this berm, and then you have option A and option B. Option A, you can actually get a little bit of air. You go in between these trees and you just fly out that way, or you can take this skinny ladder bridge over here with a drop at the end. The ladder bridge actually points downhill, and so you're gaining speed when you get to the end of this. That is to keep your speed going for the next feature, the creek gap. Of course, you could ride over the creek on this bridge over here, or you could jump over it with beautiful Berm Creek below you. After the creek gap, you land in this cupped out section, and actually, there's a pretty big area you can land to get set up for the shark fin jump. It's actually a berm to berm transfer, a right transfer left hip, you could call it, all set up for the next feature, the Sicknick table. This is the last sizable feature on the trail. It's a huge berm to berm transfer. I don't know if you can really get a sense of scale from where I'm standing, but you take off out of this berm, twist your bike over, land over here, and you're done with the trail. You can go back up and lap it. But with that walkthrough, now that you know your way around Berm Creek, let's go ride it. We've been sessioning this for a little bit and the local kids are getting silly. They're jumping from the last section of bridge all the way to the landing, adding about 7 or 8 feet onto the gap.
You don't get berm to berm transfers very many places, and these are just like perfect shark fins. It's so good.
This is how kids should learn to ride and have most fun riding. Drops, berm to berm jumps. We got a tabletop, literally like a table in there. What else do you want? It's so fun.
New trail day at Slaughter Pen. Just like the old days.
Thank you, Gary Vernon, for making this happen. This was Gary's idea. He did a TED Talk recently where he talked a lot about why being outside actually makes us happy.
The point of the TED Talk was really you can afford to do this in your community. Because if you look at a 10 to 12 mile trail system, that amount of miles is only about 350,000. Compare that to a baseball complex or a swimming pool or whatever. Why wouldn't every community invest in trails?
And during my month-long trip here, we made it happen. And so thank you to the Trailblazers, especially Ethan and Uriah, for taking control of this project. It's way more grand than what we had originally planned.
If you can meet somebody that's frowning after that run, send them to me because I want to talk to them because they need therapy.
And thanks to Tom and Stuart Walton for supporting projects like this and many others. Neither of you have to invest in free public outdoor recreation infrastructure, but you do, and you continue to do so, and it's enriching so many people's lives. And finally, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you if you didn't watch. I'd probably have to go get a job. And so thank you guys for time and time again watching my content, sharing it. I wouldn't be doing any of this. It's not every day that you get a trail built that's named after something of yours, your old backyard. That's the situation I'm in, and it's pretty surreal. I hope you enjoyed watching the all-new Berm Creek get planned, built, and ridden in. This is a trail that's public. You can come out and ride it. Thanks Visit Bentonville for making this trip possible. Thanks everyone who came out and helped. And thanks for riding with me today. I'll see you next time.